Hi, this is Andre, and welcome to the Hero's Word. This week, I'm going to talk about the events of the past WonderCon, where DC Comics announced what their whole Rebirth line is. Now, for those of you who don't know, Rebirth is a line where DC Comics is going to kind of reset their universe, and they're going to try and input and bring back some of the core values into their characters. The three helmsmen are Dan Didio, Jeff Johns, and Jim Lee. You may remember Jeff Johns because he brought to us a couple of the greatest Rebirth stories with Hal Jordan Rebirth and Flash Rebirth. These are the ideas that he said he wanted to get back. He wanted to bring these characters back to their roots, bring these comics back to their core values, and move forward from that. So I'm very kind of excited by what I hear. I really respect Jeff Johns, but the retailer in me, as a store owner, I'm really apprehensive. One of the things Jim Lee said in his video at WonderCon was that something was missing when they did the New 52. Well, the New 52 went on for almost 5 years, so why couldn't they have found out what was missing and put it into the books at that point? I don't see why they need a whole rebranding, renumber on, new, starting back at number 1 again. This should have been something that they could have figured out and established while within the New 52. Like I said, as a retailer, we can't tell the future. We don't know what these books are going to bring, so we have to look at the creative teams and see if these books are going to appeal to the fans and our customers. I think the guys at DC, I think they know what type of stories they want to tell, but they don't know how they want to tell them. One of the things they're doing is they're going to ship a lot of these titles twice a month. So even though the comics are going down in price to $2.99 an issue, you're going to be buying twice as many of certain titles. So again, that might work if you really love that comic book and you want it twice a month. But what if you're on a budget? Does that mean you drop other titles that you were reading in order to follow Batman twice a month? What if you're collecting 3 Batman titles? So again, I don't think it's the best idea, but I have to give them the chance. Now, it may seem like I'm a little bit negative on this right now. These are my first impressions, but I will have to say that DC has lined up some of my favorite creators to do comics that they've done in the past. One of my favorite writers, and the man that got me into Superman, was Dan Jurgens, and he's returning to Action Comics. This excites me immensely. I really love his writing, and I kind of missed it in the New 52. For me, he's one of the ultimate Superman writers. DC also locked down Scott Snyder to an exclusive contract, and he's going to be bringing us All-Star Batman, which is going to team him up with John Romita Jr. and some of today's top artists to bring us tales of Batman and all the villains that he didn't get to use in his epic Batman New 52 run. I am really looking forward to this book because, as we've all talked about here at the Hero's Word, the New 52 Batman is one of the best books on the market. Another one of my favorite teams is Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, and they brought to us the New 52 Batman and Robin series, and they're going to be transitioning over to Superman. I love the creative team, and I'm looking forward to what they can do. DC really has done a top-notch job of bringing good creators and keeping them together and transitioning them over in this Rebirth state. Dan Abnett is also writing Teen Titans, joined by one of my favorite artists, Brett Booth. These are going to be the Teen Titans from my day. We're talking Dick Grayson Nightwing, Arsenal, Starfire, Beast Boy. This is going to be a book that a lot of people are going to want to pick up, and also the return of Donna Troy. So again, I think they're going to hit some notes by bringing good creative teams out and telling stories with characters that people have been asking for. Now, a couple books are also getting multiple titles, and I'm kind of a little bit skeptical right now. SuperGirl is going to get her own book, and I think that's a great move considering the TV show is a hit, but there's also going to be a book called Superwoman, so I don't know how that's going to really play out. Wonder Woman, she's going to have one book, but it's going to alternate between a Wonder Woman Year 1 story I have to tell you, though, the creative team's really cool on it. It's Nicholas Scott doing the art and Greg Rucka, who are the team on the image book Black Magic, which is a really good read. And the other half of the book is also written by Greg Rucka with art by Liam Sharp. Now, I think this book should be two separate books because the even numbers are going to be Wonder Woman as she is now, and the odd numbers are going to be a young Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman Year One. So that to me strikes me as a book that needs two different titles a month, as opposed to we have BatGirl and BatGirl Birds of Prey. Not knocking these titles, I'm knocking how they are choosing to bring them to us. I think it's going to confuse some people, and I think it's going to put retailers just trying to figure out how many of each book do we put on the shelf. And it's really hard because, again, do we order the same quantity of these books that are alternating? What happens if somebody doesn't come to the shop for 2 months? They're down 4 issues instead of 2. These are big issues for us retailers, and we're the ones that are bringing the comics to the customers. We are the front line. DC in the past has done some really bold moves. The New 52 as a whole universe reset was a bold choice. And for the most part, it worked. It brought new readers to comics. It gave us some of the best creative teams on titles like Batman, some interesting takes on Superman with Grant Morrison on Action Comics. This time around, I'm hoping it can do the same thing, and I'm going to cross my fingers. I want to hear what you think. What are the creative teams you are looking forward to most? Comment below and sound off on what you think about DC's Rebirth. Once again, I'm Andre, and that's the Hero's Word. Thanks for listening.